Kingdom, to another film review. Your boy Papa Shro has been a bit busy during the holiday season, but nonetheless, getting back to these film reviews, I'm really excited to go over the film. Although it is a little bit ironic, I feel like since the bye week, I've kind of slipped up on the film reviews a bit, and now to see where we are at here after Christmas, after the Raiders, the second Raiders game, I should say, because we haven't even went over the first film of the first Raiders game. Either way, this is really the moment. It has all begun to slide, in a sense, with the Chiefs and their season to this point. So, really excited to start getting back into these film reviews and all that good stuff. So, welcome back if you are new to these. Just been going week by week, just through the film, kind of getting what I've enjoyed to watch, and what I think is important, essentially, and just kind of going over probably like 10 to 15 plays a week, just diving into the film and checking out where everybody's excelling, and for the most part pointing out most of the good and just kind of going through that. But either way, welcome back. And I guess let's just get straight into the film. Let's get it rolling. And this first play is going to come from the very first drive. This, of course, we're going back to. Let me go back to that real quick. We're going back to week 10 against the Eagles. This is a home game, Monday Night Football. Big sack on the opening drive to stop the Eagles. And Steve Spagnuolo all year has just been a mastermind, just to kind of get this angle of the all-22, just to kind of see where the blitz is coming from. And this one actually technically not a blitz, just a four-man rush. As you're going to see Mike Dana is going to drop right here, and they're going to kind of just get this pressure to the right side. Everybody just kind of doing their job. Justin Reed kind of jumps in for a moment. He's going to take the middle. Mike Dana kind of drops out to his right, and McDuffie just comes on a blitz on the right side. I say a blitz, but again, just a four-man rush you see right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Left guard kind of left in no man's land. Double team up the middle against, I was assuming that's Jones, but that is Karlaftis in the middle. Jones on the one-on-one, which leaves Kenneth Gainwell just to block Trent McDuffie. Great job by Karlaftis right here. Hurts makes a great move, and McDuffie kind of falls down right here. Karlaftis kind of gets his hands on Hurts. Hurts still moving, but McDuffie makes a great second effort, just grabbing Hurts' angle. Reed's kind of in the mix, as well as Mike Dana at that point. Everybody kind of trying to get home at that point once they see that blitz or just that rush has really developed, and trying to get all the pressure they can on Hurts to not let that ball go. I'm almost positive that was a third down play right there to get them off the field. Now on offense with the Chiefs, going to get Pacheco in a quick motion out to the left side and just a quick handoff to Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney makes a big play. Great blocking up front for Toney, and a big play. And honestly, at this point, which Toney, I did not see him at all, and I'm honestly not sure on the injured list if he was listed at all for last week, but I didn't see him at all against the Raiders on Christmas Day. But right here, I think a real positive way to use Toney. And I think when you send Pacheco in motion, that's your lead back right here, you're kind of going to get a play where I don't think that anyone's really expecting a handoff. But look at how the offensive line just develops this. Everybody does their job. And immediately Creed kind of helping out with Toney, but then also kind of looking to get to that next level. Kind of clunky right there, but Toney has enough speed and enough moves to kind of get to that second level, and a nice gain right here, breaks off of a tackle, big spin move, and makes a big play happen. And just to go back to that real quick, actually, because I think I've got us a little bit out of sequence here, because right before that, now let's go to this run play by Pacheco. Just a quick counter play, and Pacheco does an amazing job at getting the Chiefs down the field right here. And everybody doing their job. Just a quick counter, and you see every lineman has their guy locked up, and Pacheco's going to be able to just push this all the way outside. I do like this counter play out of the shotgun. And he gets all the way that they seal the edge. Jawan Taylor does a great job, actually. And I think Jawan Taylor, obviously, he's had a tough year with all the penalties, but he's not having a terrible year. And he gets up right here on the right side with 7, just getting that block, pushing him back to the inside, because 7 is expecting this play, I'm assuming, to come back to the inside, essentially. When Pacheco goes to bounce this out right here, he reads it and goes all the way. That hole right there is closed. Taylor has got this sealed off, and Trey Smith is, well, one, he's just Trey Smith, but he's got enough of a block right here just to let Pacheco just get out all the way to the outside right there. And, you know, the confidence in Trey Smith to be able to hold on to that block on 91. I think that's Fletcher Cox looking for a hold right there. Not a hold, I don't think. Nonetheless, big time gain for Isaiah Pacheco on this run. Great counter play, and I like what the Chiefs drew up on that play right there. Good call, great blocking, great job. Now we're going to get a little double motion kind of going with Noah Gray and Travis Kelce moving over to the left side of the line. Just a quick RPO going out to Rashee Rice. And Rashee Rice just makes a big play happen. And it's great to see how much Rashee Rice has really been integrated into this offense this year. Moving from this game, from the bye week. You know, this game's coming off the bye week, obviously, the Monday Night Football game. And being able to do what he's done through the year and breaking a lot of Chiefs rookie receiving records, and that's why right there, a play just like that. Big time RPO, both Kelce and Gray going in motion to Mahomes' right side, back out to the left, quick RPO, just a quick throw, and just to go back one more time, let's just watch Rashee Rice from the very beginning. Mahomes makes a great read right here, because really, Rashee Rice kind of just gets into no man's land. No one's out here. Mahomes sees it immediately. He's got one man to beat. You got your other DB moving down. 7 right here is waiting on this. Obviously, at this point, the ball's out, and he's going to throw it. But just one man to beat. And, I mean, Rashee Rice beats him and gets it up to the 10-yard line, getting a first and goal right there. About 10 or 11-yard line. So moving on to the next play we're going to look at right here from about the 5-yard line. Big time play. Justin Watson just kind of moving across to the left side. And just to watch Watson work his way across right here. He's going to start all the way out here on the right side. 2 receivers to the left. 3 receivers to the left, as well as your tight end, Kelce. So you got 4 different possible receivers starting out to the left side. Watson's the only one on the right side, and they are just going to work him across. And you got 1 receiver working back across the other way to kind of manipulate the defense with still 3 guys in this area to the left side. Now you're kind of just manipulating the defense, and no one is there. You got a double over here, man coverage on both Chiefs receivers on the left side. And now you're going to have Justin Watson wide open in the middle of the field. And I think at this point, Mahomes kind of sees that he's kind of making that read, kind of seeing what both of these guys are going to do, if he's going to be able to get that opening. Feels pressure right here. At this point, no one's around Justin Watson. Steps up, Mahomes sees it, and he lets it fly. Touchdown Chiefs. Big time play right there. And just a great play design, really, to get the Eagles' defense off guard. You've got that double, so you do have the chance, and that's on Kelce right there. As you can see this in the bottom right corner, where they've got this double at. Everybody does a pretty good job. Donovan Smith gets beat on the left side at left tackle. Mahomes is able to move up into the pocket, make it work, get that throw off, and making a throw really only Patrick Mahomes can make. And I'll say it right here just to break that down for a moment. This is still the best quarterback in the league. The best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree. Been a rough year, though. Big time play by Willie Gay right here. Just coming up and making a big play. The defense has been all about big plays all year. Willie's kind of following the motion right here. Coming over towards the middle of the field. Him pointing over to the right side. Shifting something. We get another motion here for the Eagles. With an orbit motion going out to Jalen Hurts' left side. And right here, that hole opens up perfectly, but Willie Gay is unaccounted for. And honestly, one of the fastest guys on the Chiefs defense. Gets straight through that hole, immediately trying to make something happen. You still have FAU over here on the left side, which we have not seen much of this year, heard much of. The Chiefs' first-round draft pick. So hopefully FAU will pick it up. Obviously not the same trajectory that George Karlaftis was already on at this point last year and going into next year. So we'll see how he kind of develops. But Willie Gay just making a big play. Back on defense for this one. Same drive right here. And this one, a big-time blitz. Jalen Hurts feels the pressure, and Willie Snead just makes a play on the ball. Now, this play was a very interesting play just because it looked like that ball was ripped out and maybe should have been a fumble. And, it's been obviously a long time since I watched the actual game. And I kind of went into this one just kind of watching, hanging out, not as much, geared towards this side of things as, I am with most games watching. I watch pretty much every game alone, but November 20th, shout out to Ray, his birthday. November 19th, my birthday. So we were sitting there hanging out, watching the game, having a good time. Which was good just because of how disappointing this game ended up being. But that's neither here nor there because this season has just been a wild one with how it's went. But Willie Snead. Shout out to Willie Snead. Me and Ray were talking about him today. But L'Jarius Snead just makes a wonderful play right here on the ball, and the pressure being felt right there by Hurts. I mean, he's got a guy right there ready to make a play. Hurts is going to go ahead and let this go. And this is really a pretty good read, probably a bad throw, though. Because at the end of the day, that ball right there needs to be launched because he's got Snead beat. If he pushes that ball up the field, he's probably got a pretty good completion for, maybe Snead catches him, maybe he doesn't and gets him down to the ground. But underthrown ball, bad ball by Jalen Hurts. And, Jalen Hurts, I feel like a lot of times, especially, watching through this film, and we'll see the blitz here in a minute, but just to go to Jalen Hurts, I feel like, there's a lot of times Jalen Hurts gets bailed out and, is in a great position with a ton of very talented receivers around him, not to mention, of course, the push play that has been, obviously a heavily debated play in the NFL. Either way, one more time, we'll check out the blitz that Spags sends right here. You got 6 men in the box right here ready to make something happen. It's going to be a 6-man rush as they're going to send McDuffie on a blitz and Tranquil coming up the middle. There's no one to account for McDuffie. You just got 5 linemen, no one back in there to help block. So McDuffie is right there ready to make a play and helps out his fellow DB and Snead in making a bad throw right there. For Jalen Hurts right here again, pressure. A lot of the Eagles' problems was just so much pressure on Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts just could not. This is not the same Jalen Hurts that played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And neither is the Chiefs' offense, and obviously we talked about that plenty. But just seeing another 4-man rush right here, 5 count Willie. Willie's kind of on a delayed-ish blitz, I think, on that. Let's go back to that real quick and just kind of see how that opened up. Looks like Drew Tranquil up there, yeah. Just a spy, really, by Willie, it looks like. And a great play by the Chiefs defense. And, bringing that spy, very smart by Spags. Just pretty much a 4-man rush. Chris Jones is just about unbeatable off the edge. As I mean, he's just gonna get in there and wreak havoc. And Gainwell, honestly, what is Gainwell doing right here? I mean, Gainwell really adds nothing as he's back here to chip or just block. I mean, he doesn't have enough time to get out on a route. But right here, you see Kenneth Gainwell just kind of in no man's land, not really sure what to do. And obviously, he doesn't, have the recognition to see Chris Jones has beat his guy. Tries to help out with Mike Dana. Or he just whiffed on Chris Jones. I'm not sure. But either way, big Chris Jones sack. And again, Chris Jones just wreaking havoc. It was the same drive. 2 sacks by Chris Jones on this drive, the 4th drive for the Eagles in this game. Line shifts, and you've got just about 7 guys in the box. Reed kind of creeping up into the box right here. And you're going to see just a 4-man rush. And it's definitely scary when the Chiefs can get a lot of pressure off of a 4-man rush. But the way that Spags does things, just to go back to that before we move on back to the offense, the way Spags has done things has just absolutely opened up. Everybody on this defensive line has done an amazing job at being able to create pressure, whether he's bringing a blitz or not. So now we head back to the offense of the Kansas City Chiefs. Great play by Patrick Mahomes. Very busy pocket right there. Getting some pressure. Makes a great throw. J. Watt with a big-time catch right here. Kadarius Toney back in the backfield right here. I like that. And obviously showing they're kind of playing off of what they did earlier with the run to Kadarius Toney, just having him out here in the shotgun formation. You got just 5 linemen, no one else around the line. Toney in the backfield. And we'll go back real quick and just check out this formation, what they've got. You got 3 receivers out to the left side, 1 to the right. Again, just the 5 linemen. Kadarius Toney in the backfield right here. And just kind of watch this. You're going to try to get this open up. Looks like Mahomes is looking to the right side, though. You've got a flat route. Kelsey kind of working his way towards the middle of the field. And at that point, I think Mahomes had already kind of decided that's not going to work. Kind of watching now to see if this develops over the middle of the field. Again, busy pocket right here, a lot of pressure. But J. Watt's just going to find that little spot in between. Mahomes is going to rifle it in there. And at this point in the season, again, recording this after the day after Christmas, just to kind of see where the confidence level is with Mahomes now, and we'll progress that through the film, obviously, but this is a throw. I think he probably takes a sack right here in Week 16. I don't think he makes that throw Week 16, because this is really, I think, a big start of the downfall of just the confidence in the receivers for Patrick Mahomes. And, he just does not feel confident in really anyone out there, I don't think, catching the ball. And, I mean, even Kelsey has had problems catching the ball. We saw a drop and almost another drop in this game against the Raiders on Christmas Day. So, just even seeing the fact that Mahomes made that throw just shows, I think, where they were compared to where they had. This is the week after the bye week. So I think they're feeling a little bit confident. But, I mean, obviously we're going to get into it, but week after week, it seems like it gets worse and worse. Big time run right here by Isaiah Pacheco. And, obviously has been a huge part of this offense all year long. Just kind of countering back to the left side, making a great read. Does Pacheco right here, deciding to go back to that left side of the line to really push the ball up the field. And this could be a design counter again, because you've got this guy coming in. This hole is pretty much shored up by one guy. They don't have anybody to block him. So either this is a design counter again, or you're just seeing, which it definitely could be, is you got Jawan Taylor immediately pushing up to the left side of the field. Just kind of watch exactly where he goes. It's going to be a double team right here with Trey Smith on the right side. But at the same time, somebody's probably coming, and I would assume, it's going to be 7 picked up by 87. So now you've got one free guy that's supposed to be the guy guarding Kelsey if this was a pass play. So I am kind of assuming this is already just a design counter run, although Pacheco does look like his eyes are out here. But perfect blocking right here to set this up because Tooney is, everybody's one-on-one out here on the left side. You've got one guy kind of in the middle of no man's land that has this hole right here blocked up. Then you're going to get right here. I can't see the number, but this DB right here is going to be able to cover this hole. So, that just leaves us wide open for the counter, and Pacheco makes a big play out of it, getting up the field. And Pacheco's just been a monster this season when he's been healthy, and obviously struggling with a little bit of health right now, but when he's been healthy, he has been dominant. Another big-time sack, forced fumble by Trent McDuffie. McDuffie has just been on fire all season. Seems like he's kind of cooled off. It doesn't seem like we've been seeing him make as many big plays lately, but especially this game, against the Eagles, McDuffie had a monster game, and Hurts being able to get the ball back. Great for the Eagles, but just a great play by McDuffie coming off the edge here on the left side. And again, you're just bringing 4. They dropped Mike Dana into coverage. So this is the second play now we've seen where Mike Dana has dropped back into coverage and you're bringing a DB. And the way that Spags has been able to do this and mix everything up to be able to bring DBs and how good McDuffie and Snead are at blitzing has been just fantastic to see, because really on this play, this doesn't work if these DBs, one, haven't been as good as they've been all season long, and 2, to be able to get the amount of pressure that they've been able to get on, especially Hurts at this point in the night. This is the 5th drive of the night for the Eagles. But with them able to get that pressure, and again, it's the same thing like we saw earlier. Same kind of design, where McDuffie comes off the edge. At this point, Kenneth Gainwell's on the other side, looking on the other side, and going out for a route. But what you've done now, essentially, now you've put Jason Kelsey on an island. Jason Kelsey really has nothing to do at this point but help with the double team, and Karlaftis kind of engages Kelsey right there. So the guard is kind of in between Jones and Karlaftis, and obviously you got Chris Jones, one of the best pass rushers in the game right now. Omenahu's out here by himself, and now you've also got a left guard that, well, what do I do? Is really what he's looking at this point. He looks to just go help with Karlaftis possibly, but also kind of staying down the middle of the field looking at what's coming. But at this point, nobody is there to get McDuffie. And this right guard kind of realizes it, but way too late. And again, hats off to Steve Spagnuolo. He's had an amazing, amazing season as the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. This play I pointed out specifically brought out this play just because the Chiefs have obviously struggled with the run game this year, right? And, this is exactly what the run defense needs to look like. Leo Chanel kind of there in the middle helping out, but everybody just picking up their assignment, taking on their blocker, and kind of being able to move. And Chris Jones just makes a great move to shore up that middle of the field right here, because it looks like he's going to make a play right here at this moment. You've got one lead blocker, unsure what to do, and Swift doesn't want to mess around with Chris Jones at this point, I don't think. And so he decides to just keep bouncing it out, and Mike Dana does a great job staying to his left of the blocker to make sure that he's not going to give up that outside run, and you do have help even up here. But at this point with 89 kind of moving up past Chris Jones kind of like pretty much blows up that play with his presence, I feel. Mike Dana does a great job at just staying outside his guy and making sure that he's not going to give up that edge, along with Chris Jones' presence. Beautiful run stuff. This one right here, L'Jarius Sneed again. And just Sneed has been dominant. And this is Sneed and A.J. Brown right up here. They're going one-on-one. And Sneed doesn't even press at the line. He just backs up, stays with him, makes the throw, 50-50 ball up to A.J. Brown, and Snead is having none of it. Absolutely terrific this year, L'Jarius Snead has been. And it's insane when you really look at the numbers at how good L'Jarius Snead has been all year. And, and honestly, I'll be 100% honest. Obviously, I put all my time into the Chiefs, and I don't really, tend to look around as much at the rest of the NFL. But, Snead has got to be just up there with just the best of them in the league right now at cornerback. Back to the offense. Just another counter play, and these counters absolutely destroyed the Eagles all night. This is Jerick McKinnon this time. And these counter run plays out of the gun worked tremendously against the Eagles' defensive line. And again, you've got a man, what am I trying to say? Spit it out. So, again, right here, you've got a great job by McKinnon being patient. Just like Pacheco was on these counter plays, just patient, able to wait for the hole to open up. He finds it and turns on the burners. And Jet makes a move. But again, these counter plays were just eating the Eagles' defense up. And a great job by the offensive line, which is always fascinating to see to me because I feel like this offensive line is set up to run the ball more than they are to pass the ball as much as they do. Just with that interior and how good it is with Thuney, Creed, Humphrey, of course, and Trey Smith, the middle and the core of that offensive line is so good. And, maybe they've kind of been breaking down a little bit here towards the end of the season, but, Chiefs have played a lot of football in the last few years. Staying on offense, motion play, this is just a short yardage play, and the Chiefs have done, honestly, through the year, they have done a lot better at these short yardage plays, and even on Christmas Day, they had one or two that I can remember off the top of my head that they were able to complete short yardage plays on. And obviously, first half of the season, last couple of years, it's just been really tough. And I think the Chiefs have been smart enough at, a lot of times they like to get too cute, right, on these short plays. But the Chiefs have done a good job at kind of like essentially still kind of being cute, but in a way where it doesn't affect the play, if that makes sense as much. Because right here you've got an orbit motion from Kadarius Toney, and Pacheco's playing fullback. And they really love this little fullback, whether it's Jet McKinnon or Isaiah Pacheco kind of playing that fullback spot for the Chiefs to kind of use that. And whether it's, because I can't remember if it was Sunday, but they've had plays where I think it was, or Monday, but I think it was the Christmas Day game. They had this play where it was the same kind of design, but instead they fake it to the fullback, which is the running back, of course, but no fullback on the roster. But they fake it to the fullback, and Mahomes rolled out with the motion, and they tried to create a play that way, and Mahomes just ended up running it. I think that was the fourth down play, honestly, late in the game when it was pretty out of hand at that point. But Mahomes just ran and took it for the first down. But, working off of these different play designs, but a great play right there. Just getting what they needed, keep the chains moving, keep going, and kind of offset here for Pacheco. Toney goes in motion and just right up the gut. Great play. Now here is another play to Rashee Rice, big time play. And again, Rashee Rice just continues to impress. And obviously we're going to get to a lot more Rashee Rice film as we progress through the weeks. But right here, just one-on-one pretty much, and not given a ton of respect, really. Rashee Rice just kind of turns and moves to his left. I guess it's to his right, but either way, to the left side of the field, and just kind of gets in no man's land here where he's able to easily pick up a first down. Maybe if he really went for it, could have made a much bigger gain. Either way, big play right here for Rashee Rice and the Chiefs. And just the Chiefs offense, they just need somebody reliable. And Rashee Rice has been that to a point. Obviously, he struggled with his drops. Obviously, Rashee Rice has, had an up and down season, but he's a rookie, And, I mean, you got to kind of cut him a little bit of slack for that, just for the simple fact you're looking at a rookie wide receiver. He's had his ups and downs, and all you can hope is he's just going to get better and continue to progress. And at this point for the Chiefs, I think I don't want to say looking towards next season, because obviously this is going to be a playoff team. You just need one more win to cash your ticket to the postseason, and the division win, obviously, because the AFC is insane. There's still the outside chance that the Raiders could win the division. I think the Broncos as well. The Chiefs just need one more win. They could have clinched the division with a win on Christmas Day. So you just need one more win in these last two games. You got the Bengals and the Chargers coming up. You should be able to do that. So I don't want to say that you're looking towards next season, but I just mean to get back to kind of where they were, especially offensively, and getting better with, more of the big plays, more of the not as difficult offense. This offense makes everything look so difficult. Last play we're going to look at here, orbit motion for Devontae Smith for the Eagles. Quick screen. They come off getting the screen off the orbit motion, and the Chiefs absolutely blow it up. The Chiefs defense and the DBs have done a great job against the screen this season. And right here, more of the same. I think the Jaguars, and I think I've said this at another point in another film review, but the Jaguars are really the only team that I think really, did a really good job with the screen plays. And Snead just kind of reads this, and I think just a little bit of instinct here. You get this long motion orbit back behind Hurts. Immediately once he gets the ball, he's looking in Smith's direction, and honestly probably holds on to it too long. If he doesn't hold on to that as long as he does, just gets it and throws. And again, I think on film, when you look at Jalen Hurts, he's just not the quarter. I don't want to say not the quarter, anything too disparaging about Hurts, because Hurts is a great player. But, I feel like he had that moment in time in the Super Bowl and had an amazing game. Hats off to Jalen Hurts. Played the best football game of his entire NFL career in the biggest game, in the biggest moment when it mattered most. But I think that he gets a little bit too much credit off of that. And just look, and this is just watching him on film against the Chiefs. This is this one game. He did not have a good game against the Chiefs. He struggled mightily against this Chiefs defense. So again, this is just going off of, this is my take off of this game. But to me, in a game of this magnitude, which they did end up winning, obviously the Chiefs continue to shoot themselves in the foot. They had a moment, of course, the MVS drop in this game. But, Jalen Hurts, I don't think is quite what he's cracked up to be watching the film. That it feels like a lot of the media kind of hypes him up to be. And maybe that's changed. I don't pay 100% attention to all the media. But again, just to go back, great play by L'Jarius Sneed. McDuffie gets in there, makes a hit, trying to get that ball, trying to intercept that ball. This is the 10th drive of the game. So honestly, I'm not sure exactly what the score is when this happened. But great read, great instinct by L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed is having a phenomenal season, which is kind of a pain to a sense just because he's going to be looking for a new deal this offseason. But another film review, Week 10 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, the loss on Monday Night Football. Either way, I appreciate you. I appreciate it if you stuck around with me all night during this film review, even though I can't talk tonight for some reason. But either way, the Chiefs are where they are at this point. But looking back at this film review, we'll have a little bit better one to look at for the next game against the Raiders, and slowly progress our way to get back caught up in the film department here this season. But I really do enjoy doing these film reviews and just kind of watching through the film and getting a better feel at, where this team is at. And, it seems like when we look at film, the Chiefs do a lot of good things. They just don't execute. Talking about offense, and the defense has been there all season long. So hats off to Steve Spagnuolo and what he's done with the offense. And I will give much more of my thoughts on the next podcast on where this team is at, where this team is going to go, needs to go, all that good stuff. But either way, I appreciate you if you watch to the end. Hit that like button, smash the subscribe button here on YouTube. You can check out Papa Shrono's podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. papashronos.substack.com as well. Check that out. And we will be back next time with more film review. Go Chiefs.